My friend invited me to celebrate New Year's Eve together, but I ended up on top of her sister. After a night of chaos and turmoil, he got up and put on his clothes. Pass me a bank card. Last night was an accident. I have someone I like. My brother mentioned that your family is of modest means. The money in the card is enough to support you for life. Forget all of this. I don't know where my courage came from. Holding her tightly, he anxiously said, I don't want the money. I just want you to give me a chance. I promise you the day she returns, I will take the initiative to leave. Su Yutang was stunned for a few seconds. Leaving a casual remark, they just walked away from then on. I am his secretary during the day. He is her private bedmate at night. We are in the office Maybach, in front of the floor-to-ceiling window of the villa. They have all left countless absurd traces behind. For years have passed. No one knows about the relationship between us. I accept it with pleasure. Until a few days ago, on her birthday, I have prepared a lot of surprises. Want to celebrate for her. Wait until the early morning. She didn't show up, only to be greeted by a friend's post on social media. The best birthday gift is something lost and found again. Su Yutang, who has never posted on Moments, yet posted a photo with Ji Mingchuan, a photo of kissing under the fireworks-filled sky. Seeing this photo, I know it's time for me to step away. The next day, I submitted my resignation paperwork. The resignation formalities were soon approved. But at that moment, the HR person said to me, Secretary Shun, your resignation procedure. President Su has approved it. But she didn't realize that the person leaving was you. Should I remind him? I slowly lower my gaze. No need, that's all. HR knows. But you have been secretary for President Su for 4 years. He is most satisfied with you and cannot do without you. Are you really not going to reconsider the resignation? The personnel officer pleaded with me earnestly, but I just smiled in response. My parents are in poor health. I need to go back to my hometown for a blind date and get married. Since President Su has approved it, then I will proceed with the handover of work according to the process. I'll be leaving in a month, sorry for the trouble. After returning to the shared villa, I began to continue tidying up my own belongings. I have lived here for 3 years. Not too much, not too little. Except for the essentials, everything else was thrown away. Packed up my own stuff and got ready to leave. But bumped into Su Yutang right at the entrance. Seeing me carrying things, his gaze subtly sharpened, yet made no attempt to stop him. Just slowly opened his mouth and said, The house is found. I made a sound of agreement. It's still the same old rented apartment. I've agreed with the landlord to rent for a month. Hearing this, Su Yutang slightly furrowed her brows. Why does a month exist? I was about to explain. He, however, seemed not very interested. He said in a low voice, I'll take you. I wanted to refuse. Su Yutang still insisted. The snow was falling heavily, and it was getting late. If anything happens to you, the stars will be sad. I had no choice but to get in the car. Once upon a time, we acted foolishly countless times in this car. But now I almost can't recognize this car anymore. Various sports car models are displayed in the car. The back seat was covered with a soft, fluffy blanket. And there are also cool interior light strips. I find it hard to imagine a person as decisive, aloof, and ascetic as him. Would you decorate your car like this? Perhaps noticing my gaze, Su Yutang explained. Mingchuan likes these. I understood the meaning behind his words. After a long silence, I answered him in a low voice. Mr. Su, you've finally welcomed him back. I'm so happy for you. Su Yutang didn't expect me to say these things. His eyes slightly dimmed, and he said no more. The car broke down halfway. Ji Mingchuan called to say that. Want to build a snowman with him. Upon arriving at the residence, Su Yutang got out of the car to help with moving the things. I had a slip of the hand. The box fell to the ground. He leaned down, peering through the streetlight. Seeing the things scattered on the ground, my body froze for a moment. A love letter with his name on it that was never sent. I don't know when this photo of him was taken secretly, and there are things he casually discarded but were picked up and kept as keepsakes. My heart skipped a beat, frantically picking them up while stammering an apology. Sorry, Su Yutang didn't say anything. He got into the car alone and sped away. I opened my phone and realized that Su Yutang had left. Send me a message. Don't be so devoted to someone in the future. There are plenty of women in the world. Don't just hang yourself from my tree. I stared at this message for a very, very long time. After dawn, I lit a fire downstairs. Burned that whole box of things, and which has been burning within me for 8 years. The fervent and relentless affection goes along with it as well. Turned into ashes. The company's small group chat has been buzzing nonstop over the next few days. Everyone is discussing the matter between Su Yutang and Ji Mingchuan. He booked Disneyland for a week to celebrate her birthday. The dazzling fireworks kept going off for 3 days without a pause. She brought him to a family dinner. He handed over the jade pendant that was to be passed down only to his son-in-law. He bought a piece of land with plans to build a private ski resort. The name is closely associated with Ji Mingchuan. I quietly watch these messages. There are no more ripples in my heart. Just clocking in for work as usual. Meticulous in work. That day, after delivering the files Su Yutang needed. Just about to leave when I was called back. I have a meeting to attend. Mingchuan doesn't like eating alone. You stay here and keep him company. I was about to refuse. Ji Mingchuan, however, habitually began ordering me around. I want to eat shrimp. Please peel a plate for me first. Su Yutang closed the study door. I can only swallow those words back. Walking to the dining table and peeling a plate of shrimp. Ji Mingchuan had someone bring another large plate. Walnuts and jackfruit are here. He said with a faint smile. I'd like to have some fruit after the meal. There are no tools here, just use your bare hands. Looking at the hard pit and the sharp thorns. My heart sank. I know Ji Mingchuan is deliberately trying to torment me, but I have no choice but to follow through. Both of my hands were covered in blood from the stabbings. Ji Mingchuan still wouldn't let me off the hook, making me go to the kitchen to bring the soup. Soup just cooked from the stove. My hands turned bright red from the heat. Just couldn't hold on steady, and my hand slipped. I fell to the ground. The scalding hot soup splashed all over him. In just a few seconds, several blisters formed on my hand. Seeing me sprawled on the ground, Ji Mingchuan was overjoyed. The next second, I saw the study door swing open. He immediately put away his smile and began to reprimand in a feigned manner. I heard from Yutang that you're capable. How can you not even hold a bowl of soup properly? It spilled out and scalded my hand. Hearing these words, Su Yutang immediately tensed up. Running over quickly, did you get burned? Let me take a look right away. Does it hurt? Ji Mingchuan lifted the hand he had just pinched red. Show it to him, saying pitifully. Just a few splatters. I also don't know if it will leave a scar. Su Yutang's face darkened. Couldn't help but scold. How do you do things? Mingchuan was pampered and spoiled from a young age. Not a single injury has been sustained. Seeing the wounds on my body, he didn't continue to scold. Instead, he pulled Ji Mingchuan along to treat his injuries. Just as I was about to leave, she called out to me in a low voice. Go with me to the hospital and help handle the situation. I could only grit my teeth and bear the pain as I got into the car. Su Yutang drove very fast all the way. Ji Mingchuan didn't want her to find out that he was pretending, occasionally hurting each other under extreme distraction. He didn't see the speeding sports car approaching. With a loud bang, the two cars collided head-on. I couldn't control my body due to the strong inertia. He slammed into the car door and blood gushed out. Dye my world in a deep crimson red. I barely managed to pry my eyes open and saw. Su Yutang dragged Ji Mingchuan out of the car. The sound of the ambulance came from a distance. In a daze, I heard two urgent voices. Madam, this gentleman has just fainted from excessive fright in the back seat. The injured person is bleeding heavily. What's more critical is not getting to the hospital in time. There may be a risk to life. Su Yutang's impatient roar. No, we must take Ji Mingchuan to the hospital first. I must not let anything happen to him. I listened to Su Yutang's roar. I only feel the boundless darkness surging up. Waking up again, I saw Brother Su Zing with red eyes. He said nervously, Jan, I just got back and heard that you were hospitalized after an accident. The doctor said you have severe bleeding. I was almost beyond saving. I was scared to death. Seeing her, the emotions I had suppressed in my heart, they all rushed out, and I couldn't help but feel my eyes welling up. Don't worry, I'm fine. The two brothers sat in silence, not knowing how much time had passed. Su Zing then softly inquired, have you been happy living in the country these past few years? Did my sister bully you? Didn't you get a girlfriend? When will you introduce me to him/her? My expression froze on my face. Mr. Su's company has clearly never bullied me. My girlfriend has already broken up with me. Su Zing didn't expect the breakup to happen so soon. Afraid that I would be sad, they quickly comforted me. No worries, as the old saying goes. Bye-bye. It's fine. The next one will treat me even better. I know a lot of stunningly beautiful women. I'll introduce everything to you." Before the words had even finished, the hospital room door was pushed open. Su Yutang walked in with a grim expression. He said coldly, "Introduce nothing at all. Those women you know play around. There is no suitable one." He heard his sister flatly reject it with just one sentence. Su Xing immediately pouted. "Sis, please don't make baseless accusations. Do you think everyone is as sentimental as you are? Hanging myself from the tree of Ji Mingchuan. Besides, I want to introduce a girlfriend to my buddy. Sis, why do you even have to meddle in this?" Hearing this, Su Yutang felt a surge of anger rising within her. There was anger in the tone. "I said no introductions, and that means no introductions." I silently tugged at Su Xing's hand. Then he calmly looked at him. "Xing was just joking. Mr. Su, what brings you here?" Seeing me safe and sound, Su Yutang breathed a slight sigh of relief. He instinctively wanted to say he came to see you. But when the words reached my lips, they took on a different meaning. It was nothing, really. "Xing, I heard something happened to you. Went straight to the hospital after getting off the plane. I came to call him back home. Take a look at you while you're at it." Su Xing said impatiently. "Okay, I'll be home tonight. You go ahead first, sis. Zion suffered such a severe injury. You are not allowed to assign him any more work." After saying this, Su Xing immediately drove her out. Only the two of us brothers were left in the room. Su Xing once again spoke highly of Su Yutang. "Don't let my sister's tough exterior fool you. But she treats you very well. The nurse said you were in critical condition yesterday. It was her whole blood transfusion that saved your life." Hearing that, I was taken aback for a moment. But a moment later, he regained clarity. This is the company's profit and loss situation during this period. These are the partners who want to terminate their cooperation with us. The situation is very urgent, and there's still all of this. This is the company's personnel turnover situation during this period. A group of senior employees are discussing leaving their jobs. Su Yutang's brows furrowed deeply. She just hasn't been to the company for a while. Why did it end up like this? He took those documents and felt a headache coming on from reading them. Heavily hitting the ground, loudly demanded, "What the hell are you all doing? I've only been away for a few days. I can't believe the loss is so substantial. Those partners, won't you try to keep them? Will you be home when I come back?" Bang! The folder fell with a loud crash. None of the secretaries dared to speak. A long moment passed. Only then did one person speak in a low voice. These tasks are usually handled by Secretary Shun. "President Su, what about Shun Zion? He instinctively wanted to call me over. Only then did I remember. I have already resigned a long time ago." His face darkened several shades further. Gloomily replied, "Those things Shin Zion could do. Can't you guys handle it?" No one dared to speak anymore. I have been diligent and conscientious for the past 4 years. Everyone can see it clearly. I don't think I can do it that well. The office fell into a moment of silence. Ji Mingchuan chuckled a few times. "Don't be angry, Yutang. It's just a secretary who left, isn't it? I'll take care of it. I will definitely do better than Shinzai. You should take a rest first. Let me help you with these things." Su Yutang smiled with a sense of relief. "Sorry to trouble you, Mingchuan. From now on, you all should listen to Mingchuan." After saying that, he took those crucial documents back to deal with them. Leave Ji Mingchuan and the other secretaries where they are. As soon as the first-class people had left, Ji Mingchuan's expression changed. He swept his gaze over the secretaries, then suddenly reached out and slapped one of them across the face. With a cold sneer, he spoke. "You were just so close to President Su. What are you trying to do? Flirting?" Such words scared those secretaries. They covered their faces and hurriedly explained. "How could that be? We are just doing our job well. Don't you dare slander me." Ji Mingchuan couldn't listen to those words anymore. He called over the bodyguards and had the secretaries dragged away. They are not allowed to appear in the company again. After doing these things, he deliberately unbuttoned the collar of his shirt. The love marks from a few days ago were now clearly visible. He knocked on the office door and entered after receiving Su Yutang's response. "Mr. Su." He took Su Yutang's hand and placed it on his own body. Su Yutang had no intention of lingering affection at all. She slightly furrowed her brow, saying, "But there are too many tasks at the company right now. Mingchuan, what are you going to do?" "I'm too busy right now. Can we talk about this later?" Ji Mingchuan ignored Su Yutang's refusal, hands resting on either side of the chair. Just a moment, Mr. Su. It can wait until later. As he spoke, the man's large hand slid down her body. She felt her body go weak, a tingling sensation rising from the base of her spine. Couldn't resist the temptation. They didn't stop moving until noon. Su Yutang glanced at her watch. It was already this late. His secretary hasn't even brought the meal yet. If it were me, I would never forget these things. He remained silent and called his secretary. What's going on? How could you even forget to deliver the food? Do you all not want to do this anymore? The secretary blurted out, her tone filled with helplessness. Mr. Su, we have all been driven out by young Master Ji. We've given it some thought, and we think it's best to end your employment here. We don't have Secretary Shun's remarkable tolerance. Can endure again and again. Su Yutang didn't react in time. I instinctively asked what was wrong with Shin Zion. On the other end, the secretary let out a sigh. A file package has been sent over. Everything you need is in there, Mr. Su, he said afterward. With that, he hung up the phone. Su Yutang felt a flicker of suspicion within, mingled with a sense of alarm. Opening this file, I realized. Inside is all the evidence that Ji Mingchuan orchestrated and performed it himself. From the time he returned until today, he blames me for everything. It turns out that all the slander was orchestrated by Ji Mingchuan. Su Yutang grew more and more shocked the longer she looked. Those feelings suppressed deep within the heart can no longer hide. He never expected Ji Mingchuan to do such a thing. And yet, during this period, I have unexpectedly endured so much injustice. His heart seemed to skip a beat at that moment, lingering for a long time while watching those videos. Ji Mingchuan sat lazily in the chair, seeing Su Yutang motionless for no apparent reason. I asked softly, Yutang, what's wrong? Didn't you say someone would bring food? I'm getting hungry. Then, Su Yutang slowly turned her head. But there was no longer the deep affection for her that once existed in his eyes. It seemed a bit hard to believe what I was seeing. Ji Mingchuan called Yutang again. Yet, Su Yutang's expression remained exactly the same, suddenly making him feel flustered. The woman spoke coldly. Why did you do this? He didn't react in time. He asked in confusion, What are you saying, Yutang? But in the next second, the woman started screaming like she had gone mad. I ask you why you did this. Why slander Shin Zion? Although startled by her tone. But upon hearing that name, Ji Mingchuan was still very puzzled. He's just a secretary, isn't he? What's the big deal? Why are you so angry, Yutang? Didn't you say yourself that it was just a secretary? He spoke with an air of righteousness. Suddenly, Su Yutang felt his energy drain away. Yes, it was me who let her go in the first place. Why are you so angry again now? Ji Mingchuan stepped closer, wanting to hold her. Don't be angry, Yutang. Let's go eat. But when I heard Ji Mingchuan's voice, Su Yutang's inner restlessness grew stronger and stronger. Her mind was filled with images of my face, full of grievances. Yet I repeatedly chose to hurt Shin Zion, instead of trusting her. How heartbroken she must have been at that time. The more she pondered, the more breathless she felt. Not even the patience to put on a pleasant face. Pushing Ji Mingchuan away, he said coldly, Go ahead and eat it yourself if you want. I'm not in the mood right now. She didn't push hard. The man stepped back a few paces, but his face was full of disbelief. These days, the woman who has been completely obedient to him, just to push the tower for someone else. Ji Mingchuan's emotions suddenly erupted. Su Yutang, what are you going to do? You actually treat me like this because of Shin Zion, a mere secretary? Are you going to break up with me next? Go after that secretary and bring her back. Ji Mingchuan's words left Su Yutang feeling deeply upset. She doesn't know what she's doing right now, either. Why do we feel uncomfortable? Why do we feel sad? Shouldn't she be happy that I'm leaving? We shouldn't have started in the first place. But now he could only clench his fists, striving to control one's emotions. He said in a low voice, I'm just too tired. Go ahead and eat without me for now. Ji Mingchuan snorted coldly. Without another glance, she turned and walked away, facing the mess in the office. Su Yutang felt a severe headache. She didn't have anyone bring her meals again. Instead, they threw themselves into their work. Want to make myself forget those things. He was busy from the afternoon until the evening. Just finished dealing with the recent incidents at the company. What's ridiculous is that a large portion of it was stirred up by Ji Mingchuan. To clean up after him, he nearly lost all of this year's company profits. He sat up straight and leaned against the chair. Took a deep breath. It's already dark outside. She checked her phone again. Not a single message. Her heart felt empty and hollow. An indescribable weariness and loneliness washed over me. Now he is the only one left in the company. He couldn't help but speak, Shinzian. This was the first time he called out my name after I left. These 3 words seemed to carry a curse. Once it was set in motion, she inevitably thought of more. About us before. No matter how late it is, I will stay and work with her. Everything is arranged in perfect order. We will entwine in front of the office floor-to-ceiling window. More and more memories are flooding into my mind. He could no longer control his emotions. Picked up the phone and dialed my younger brother's number. After a few seconds, it felt longer to him than half a lifetime. Finally, hearing the call being answered on the other end. Can't wait to speak. Zing, do you know where Shinzian has gone? His brother let out a mocking laugh. Sis, you and Ji Mingchuan are so affectionate. Why are you still looking for Zion? His lips moved slightly, clutching the phone with difficulty. I already know. All those incidents that occurred before were orchestrated by Mingchuan himself. I want to take Mingchuan to apologize to Shinzian. He can come back. From now on, I won't let Mingchuan make things difficult for him anymore. He hadn't finished speaking. This self-righteous apology was interrupted. Su Zing gave a cold snort. That won't be necessary. Zion no longer needs your apology. You'll never find him in your lifetime either. After saying that, Su Zing hung up the phone, listening to the busy signal that ended over there. A wave of regret and helplessness surged into his heart. He angrily threw his phone hard onto the ground. Immediately followed the sound of the office door being pushed open. He suddenly stood up, hoping it was the person she longed for who had returned, Zion. He looked towards the door with hope in his eyes. It was not the person she had been longing for. It was Ji Mingchuan. The man clearly heard the name that slipped from her lips. She couldn't understand. It was just a secretary, after all. Why are you always at odds with him? He looked towards the disheartened Su Yutang. I can't stand this contrast, so I shouted out my questions. Why is it Shinzian again? Yutang, do you really like him? Su Yutang didn't answer. Upon realizing the person who entered was not me, his mind is elsewhere. But seeing him in this state, instead, it only further enraged Ji Mingchuan. He was blinded by rage, hysterically shouting, "He's just a secretary, a useless person. I knew it from the first day I came back. He has impure intentions towards you. That kind of person is better off leaving." Lin Yutang, didn't you say you only loved me? What do you mean now? Have you fallen in love with him? Faced with Ji Mingchuan's incessant questioning, Su Yutang's mind was in a tangle, utterly silent. But Ji Mingchuan had become accustomed to a life of receiving endless favoritism. The more he was neglected, the more he hated me. He furiously slammed everything on the desk. He roared, "I heard everything just now. You're asking where Shinzian went. You still want to find him, still want to bring her back. You've fallen in love with him. At the end of one's patience, there is no longer the affection in his gaze toward Ji Mingchuan as there once was. She completely doesn't understand. Why do I like such a person? Being unreasonable, willful, and domineering. He even went so far as to drive away Zion." At this thought, Su Yutang could no longer hold back. She responded with red eyes. "I've just fallen in love with Shinzian. So what? Do you know what you've actually been doing during this period? You dismissed all my secretaries. He even deleted work emails from my phone without permission. Several partners are on the verge of terminating their cooperation. In the company, I give you the authority. You are just showing off your power to bully the employees. This has led them all to clamor for resignation. Do you know these days? Have you caused any financial losses to my company? I can let bygones be bygones. But why did you force Shinzian to leave? You have framed him time and time again. That's what made him unable to bear it and decide to leave me. I just really like Shinzian. I've fallen in love with him. You've been gone for so long. It has been Shinzian who has accompanied me through these years. Ji Mingchuan, what gives you the right to say that about him?" His eyes were incredibly dark. Startled Ji Mingchuan. He couldn't help but feel scared, but still stubbornly insisted. Just because he is merely a secretary. What does he think he is? He didn't finish his sentence. Su Yutang raised her hand and slapped him hard. Ji Mingchuan was utterly astonished. Then he shouted angrily, "You actually hit me. Su Yutang, how dare you hit me? You keep saying you love me. Now you're actually hitting me over a secretary." But his words were of no use at all. After realizing my true feelings, Su Yutong's gaze at him. It feels like looking at someone I utterly despise. She grabbed the man's hand, slapped again without any hesitation. Ji Mingchuan was slapped so hard that his head snapped to the side. Immediately, the face swelled up. But the fury in the woman's eyes remained undiminished. Each word she uttered was icy. The grievances Shun Zion has endured. More than these. What's the big deal if I hit you? You must apologize to him. The woman's gaze was cold and indifferent. If she had any softness left for him before. So now, there is not a trace of hesitation left. Now she only finds him disgusting. I can't believe I did so much for him. Always hurting me. Su Yutang's fingers clenched tightly. The expression was filled with a chill. It made Ji Mingchuan feel fearful. He had never seen Su Yutang like this before. She has always been kind to me and granted every request. It's all because of that man, Shun Zion. Ji Mingchuan's eyes were filled with venomous resentment. I wish I could tear you to pieces. Su Yutang naturally saw it. He only regrets that up until now. Only then did I see the other's true colors. I've suffered so much injustice for no reason at all. Her icy smile sent a shiver down everyone's spine. Now it's time to give everything back to me. With that, he grabbed her and tried to pull her out. The woman's furious expression terrified Ji Mingchuan. She didn't care about her own dignity anymore. Frantically struggling but unable to break free, she was dragged to the door of the outer office. Then several bodyguards came over and held her down. Su Yutang said coldly, "Since you like making people kneel, then kneel until tomorrow." She instructed the bodyguard to keep a close watch on her, disregarding the pleading voice of Ji Mingchuan behind him. Turning away, she now has me on her mind entirely. Once I admit that he loves me, he then realized that he had been utterly wrong all along. Clearly, in these 4 years of being together day and night, she hasn't been able to do without me for a long time, yet unwilling to admit it until they completely lose each other. Just realized my own remorse. In the car, he hit the steering wheel hard, then frantically threw everything in the car. All the things left behind by Ji Mingchuan were thrown out. These are all the things I dislike. He had to clean everything up, whether it's the ornaments in the car or the seat cushions, or the snacks he deliberately bought. All of them were recklessly thrown out by her. But no matter how much I look at this car again, there are no longer any memories of him and me from the past. We've had plenty of wild moments in the car before. Not a single trace of me can be found. At this moment, Su Yutang finally understood. What does it mean to feel as if a knife is piercing one's heart? He couldn't stand it anymore. Smash one's own car beyond recognition, venting inner anger. Then he took another car back to the villa. Even here, it's all the same. Everything has become what Ji Mingchuan likes. He just came back only a month ago. It actually overshadowed my entire 4 years of memories. Su Yutang's eyes reddened. He stood in the villa, but felt as if he couldn't breathe. Those glaring decorations. It felt like a knife was slowly cutting into his heart. He desperately searched for the things I had left behind. Even just the corner of a garment would be enough. But there was nothing. His helplessness reached its peak. He could only vent his frustration by smashing everything inside. She dared not rest. Once I close my eyes, he appears in my mind. That day, she clearly saw me packing my things, but did not stop, watching helplessly as I took everything away. Nothing is left behind. She let out a painful roar. I wish I could go back in time and ask myself, you clearly have reluctance in your heart as well. Why haven't you done anything? She sat alone in the villa all night, drawing the last vestiges of warmth that belonged to me. Wait until dawn when his assistant arrives. Mr. Su should head to the company now. Master Ji is still waiting for you, he gently reminded. Su Yutang raised her reddened eyes. My heart is filled with nothing but hatred. If it weren't for Ji Mingchuan, how could I possibly leave? All of this is Ji Mingchuan's fault. His voice was so hoarse that it was almost unrecognizable when he spoke. Drive to the company. Su Yutang arrived at the company during the peak morning rush hour. Employees come and go. Everyone's eyes turned toward a certain corner of the company. Ji Mingchuan appeared disheveled and unkempt, pinned to the ground by bodyguards and forced to kneel, looking utterly disheveled. He has been kneeling for an entire night. The body swayed unsteadily, nearly collapsing into unconsciousness. The stares from those around him only added to his overwhelming sense of humiliation. Ji Mingchuan, who was once in the limelight. At this moment, my heart is filled with resentment towards me. He screamed hysterically, Shun Zion, You despicable wretch, it's all your fault. If it weren't for you, Su Yutang wouldn't have treated me this way. Why don't you just die? I wish you were dead. How dare you seduce Su Yutang? You are a shameless creature. His shouting and cursing drew disapproval from those around him. Some colleagues who have a good relationship with me. Stand up and speak for me. Ji Mingchuan, don't go too far. Secretary Shun has been with the company for 4 years. Always diligent and conscientious. Never did anything wrong. You targeted her from the moment you arrived. Well, Secretary Shun has always been diligent and conscientious. You always give her a hard time. Now you still want to shift all the blame onto her. This is outrageous. Ji Mingchuan listened to these accusations, even more infuriated and humiliated, yelling obscenities at everyone. You fools. He must have received some benefit from him. Just spoke up for him. At that moment, Su Yutang hurried over. The crowd automatically parted to make way. Su Yutang stared at Ji Mingchuan with icy eyes, filled with disappointment and disgust. Ji Mingchuan saw Su Yutang, as if clutching at a life-saving straw, quickly crawled to his feet. Holding onto his leg, she pleaded desperately. Yutang, you must stand up for me. They all bully me. It was all Shun Xian's instigation. Su Yutang kicked him away and said coldly, Ji Mingchuan, do you still refuse to repent? I already know about all the things you've done. You repeatedly slander Shin Xian. It also caused significant losses for the company. Do you think I will indulge you again? Ji Mingchuan was kicked and fell to the ground, eyes filled with disbelief. Yutang, how could you treat me like this? You are the one I love. Su Yutang looked down at him from above. Without hesitation, the person I love is Shun Xian. From the beginning to the end, it's only her that I love. It was my mistake before. Would be deceived by you. Now that I've come to terms with my feelings, you should go. It's over between us. The man's pupils dilated, filled with disbelief. You're letting me go? Su Yutang, I'm telling you. Shin Xian was definitely not forced to leave by me. It's you. Did you think I wouldn't know? Have you done anything? You have been with him for 4 years, but never made it public. The moment I came back, you eagerly rushed over. It was you who truly drove him away. Her relationship with me. I have never exposed myself at the company. As soon as this remark was made, everyone was astonished. Su Yutang's expression had just begun to soften, turned gloomy as well. Ji Mingchuan, who was abandoned, can't afford to worry about those broken pots. Told everything I know, sneeringly laughing. Shin Xian is just a fool. For years have passed, and I've been willing all along. Be your secret lover. Su Yutang, it's you who doesn't trust him. You saw him being tortured, yet you still chose me. Do you think it was me who drove Shin Xian away? It is you who care about him. Every word spoken. Su Yutang's face grew even darker. Fists clenched tightly, he said coldly. It seems you still haven't realized your mistake, he said, directing the bodyguard. He grabbed Ji Mingchuan and dragged him away again. He returned to the villa. Su Yutang had the bodyguard lock him in the basement, force him to repeat the things he once slandered me with. But this time, the one suffering became himself. He was forced to hold the scalding bowl. Blisters formed on the hands, reddened from the scalding. Or have her kneel as punishment. Kneeling for a whole day. Even if I pass out, I'll keep kneeling when I wake up. During that period, Su Yutang never visited her even once. She has more important things to do. Since I recognized my own feelings, he vowed to win me back. He knew his only hope of finding me was. That would be my younger brother, Su Xing. Despite the previous issue with Ji Mingchuan, I had a huge fight with my younger brother. But at this moment, he couldn't care about that anymore. Su Yutang arrived at Su Xing's residence and knocked on the door. Su Xing opened the door and saw that it was his sister. The smile on her face froze into a look of disdain. Su Xing asked with a tone of annoyance, "What are you here for?" Su Yutang knew she was in the wrong. Holding gifts in both hands, with a smile on the face. "Xing, I know I was wrong before. I want to ask you for a favor. Do you know where Shin Xian is? I want to go find him and apologize to him." Su Xing let out a cold sneer. "You know to look for him now. How did you treat him before? You hurt Yi Ji time and again for Ji Mingchuan. Now it's too late to try to salvage it." Su Yutang hurriedly said, "Galaxy, I know I did it wrong. I want to make it up to you. Can you tell me where Shin Xian went? I will not let Ji Mingchuan hurt him again. I will be good to him from now on. Aren't you good friends with him? Shin Xian and I will be together in the future. You can see him every day too." Su Xing quickly cut him off. "Even without you, Xian and I are still good brothers. As long as he is doing well, I don't care where he is. Sister, you've hurt her so many times. Still thinking about getting back together. It was you who told me before. Ji Mingchuan is actually my brother-in-law. The woman's words caught in her throat, and she fell silent. Su Xing gets angry just thinking about the grievances I've endured. Seeing Su Yutang remain silent, the mockery grew even sharper. You even hit me just to protect Ji Mingchuan. Even Lian Ziyan was beaten along with the others. Sis, you're saying you were wrong now? Don't you think it's too late? I'm telling you, Ziyan is doing great abroad right now. Upon hearing those words, Su Yutang staggered slightly. He took a deep breath, lowered his head in front of his younger brother. Brother, I know I was wrong. I have punished Ji Mingchuan. If you don't believe me, I can take you to see for yourself. You can tell Ziyan that I have already realized my mistake. Rouge loves me so much. She loved me for a full 8 years. She will definitely forgive me. I'm begging you, please help me this time. Her speech quickened as she continued. It was as if something was chasing after her. Eyes also reddened. But these words sounded utterly laughable to Su Xing's ears. You know he has loved you for 8 years. So how did you treat her? You treat her as a bed partner and as a tool. A pet that comes when called and leaves when dismissed. You yourself exhausted her affection. Now that Ziyan is gone, you realize you were wrong. She is human, and she feels pain too. Su Yutang heard her biological brother's words. The regret in my heart grew even deeper. He spoke hoarsely, his eyes rimmed with red. He immediately knelt down and choked up as he spoke. The Starry River at least let me see the Rouge Inkstone once. Just once, if he really doesn't forgive me. I will never bother him again. From childhood to adulthood, Su Yutang had never asked anyone for help. This was the first time she had ever knelt down before someone. It's his own brother. Just for someone who left him. Su Xing never expected her proud older sister to think it could go this far. But to betray a good friend for the sake of one's sister. He can't even manage this kind of thing either. Su Xing gritted his teeth in frustration and said, I can help you ask. If Ziyan is willing to see you, I'll tell you her current address. A person who had already lost hope. His eyes lit up instantly, and he nodded eagerly. Su Xing sent me a message. But there is a time difference of several hours between the domestic and international regions. Su Xing advised her to go back first. She will be notified when there is news. But Su Yutang simply refused to leave. She persistently stayed at her brother's residence. Sleeping on the sofa, the slightest movement can wake me up. Anticipation is my message. Until the next evening. Su Xing just received a reply. All right, I'll meet with him. Just a few words, but they brought hope to Su Yutang. Carrying an excited heart, Su Yutang couldn't wait to buy the ticket for the nearest flight. Su Xing he held her back, frowning in disapproval. Sis, take a day off before you go over. Haven't you rested for several days? Since Ziyan said he would see you, I definitely won't miss the appointment. Su Yutang shook off her hand and said anxiously, I can't wait. During the time Ziyan has been away from me, I have always been thinking of her day and night. I just want to see her now. Her gentle eyes and brows left Su Xing he utterly perplexed. Watching my sister's busy figure as she hurried away, she couldn't help but let out a soft sigh. If I had known it would come to this, why did I start in the first place, sis? However, Su Yutang did not hear these words. Her heart is entirely occupied by Ji Yan. Just thinking about the moment I get to see him. His heart leaped with excitement. He had already made up his mind by the time he boarded the plane. As long as he can forgive her, I would do anything for him. She won't be like before. Just let him be a bed partner. Instead, they will openly declare it. The relationship between them. She will marry him and love him for a lifetime. To spend one's entire life making amends. The harm he has endured during this period. Thinking about his life returning to her side, Su Yutang couldn't help but smile. The feeling of happiness filled her chest. She was filled with immense anticipation for the moment she would see him. The 8-hour flight has finally landed. Su Yutang couldn't wait to rush towards it. That promised address. To meet the one you deeply love. The place we agreed on is a coffee shop. When Su Yutang pushed the door open and entered, the wind chime tinkled once. He walked in and saw it at first glance. I sit in the corner. It's been a month since we last met. Yet it felt as torturous as a year had passed. So much so that now I finally get to see me. Su Yutang actually felt a sense of dizziness. Shinzian has changed a lot. When you are by my side. Because the identity is that of a secretary. She most often wears work clothes. Even after they get off work, they are at home. Play some tricks. But the feeling I give her, always serious and proper. And now I am dressed in court attire. Stray hairs fell across the brow. It made her feel as if she had returned to the past. We were just getting started. That naive Shun Zai, who had a secret crush on her. He hesitated for a few seconds before walking over. Smiling and greeting, long time no see. He restrained himself from the feeling of wanting to rush into my arms immediately, greedily and obsessively gazing at my face. My expression remained calm. So let's get straight to the point. I want to see you, just to clear things up between us. I'm not in the mood for reminiscing. I took a sip of coffee and was just about to continue speaking. Su Yutang quickly took over the conversation. I understand what you mean. I was wrong before. I didn't recognize my true feelings. That's why Ming Chuanji hurt you. I just realized I love you. The only person I truly love is you. He spoke in one breath, his eyes sparkling, looking forward to my response. In his imagination, I loved her so much. He will definitely forgive him and return to his country with him. But from start to finish, my expression never changed. The corners of the mouth lifted without a ripple of emotion. He whispered softly, Su Yutang, it's too late. Whether it's your apology or your love. If you have finished speaking, then I will leave. I don't think there's anything left for us to discuss. Su Yutang's expression shifted abruptly, and she instinctively reached out to grab the man's hand. It's not too late, Zion. We still have a future ahead of us. I have already punished Ji Mingchuan. As long as you come back, I can give you anything. It's been 4 years, all because of this 1 month. Don't you love me anymore? I know you're just still upset inside. Whether you want to hit me or scold me, it's fine. Zion, I beg you, please come back. I shook off his hand and replied in a flat tone. Yes, precisely because of this month, I have seen you for who you truly are. I don't love you anymore, Su Yutang. We'll not go back again. Wishing you and Ji Mingchuan a lifetime of happiness together. I'll be off then, I said, getting up to leave. Su Yutang never expected I would react like that. In his heart, I have always loved him deeply and unconditionally. How could I suddenly stop loving him? An unprecedented sense of panic surged over me. When she learned that I was leaving, she comforted herself by thinking I still loved her. But now I've truly seen you. I can't believe I said I don't love you anymore. At this moment, Su Yutang felt her heart. It hurts as if cut by a knife. She held my hand tightly, unwilling to let go. His proud figure trembled for the first time. She lowered her posture. There was even a hint of pitiful sobs in the voice. Wuxian, please don't treat me like this. I really know I was wrong. As long as you are willing to forgive me, we'll go back and get married right away. I won't leave you without a proper status any longer. You can continue as a secretary in the company if you want. If you don't want to, just stay at home. I will earn money for you. What's mine is yours from now on. No matter who shows up, I won't hurt you. Zion, I beg you to forgive me this time. We've been together for so long. You can't just abandon me because I made one mistake. If Ziyan were to hear such words from before, we'll definitely be very happy. This is the woman I've loved for 8 whole years. We are finally about to achieve our goal. But now, because of Ji Mingchuan, my heart is already dead. That 8-year relationship no longer exists. Those past memories only make me loathe myself. Having eyes but failing to see, I wasted so much time. In Su Yutang, I take a deep breath. With unwavering determination, he pried open Su Yutang's hand. Su Yutang, I made myself very clear. We have no future. Isn't what I'm doing now exactly what you wanted? I said at the time, I'll leave on my own as soon as the person you love returns. When Ji Mingchuan returned, I've looked forward to it too. Have you developed feelings for me as well? She would let go of Ji Mingchuan for me. But as it turns out, I was mistaken. Look at my expression. Su Yutang felt a sense that she was about to lose me. She kept shaking her head. I cried in front of others for the first time, almost pleading to come and pull me along. I was truly wrong. Give me one chance to make it right. But I did not look back. Just like that, leaving and disappearing from his sight. He just sat there in the coffee shop, motionless. Stayed until the store closed before leaving. She didn't know what to do. My heart is filled with pain. The more this was the case, the more clearly he perceived. How important am I to her? She actually lost her just like that. If Ji Mingchuan doesn't come back. If only I had realized earlier. I fell in love with myself. If he hadn't let me down. Countless possibilities flashed through his mind. But he had no way to turn back. He wandered aimlessly through the foreign streets. A bolt of lightning struck, followed by a heavy downpour. Everyone on the road was hurrying home to take shelter from the rain. But Su Yutang had no idea where to go. She walked in the rain, calling out my name as she went. Soaked to the bone. Suddenly, his phone rang. She picked it up eagerly. It was a message from Su Xing. "Sis, come back," she murmured as she read the words. Suddenly feeling utterly powerless. Why on earth did we end up like this? She knelt down in the heavy rain, crying and screaming in agony. The sound of rain drowned out all other noises, including his feelings of pain. He staggered up to an apartment building. The gate was tightly shut, and he didn't dare to knock. Just huddled at the doorway. "This is my residence." Only here did she feel. My heart feels a touch of solace. He hasn't slept for days. Lying at the door, getting drenched in the rain at this moment. I ended up dozing off in a daze. In my dream, I forgave him. He returned to the country with him. We're just like before. But what was different was the her in the dream. Did not let me down again. Immediately announced our relationship. Even proposed to me. With tears in my eyes, I held her in my arms and said, "I've finally waited for this day." Su Yutang smiled slightly. "It seems I've caught my own happiness." Then he passed out in the pouring rain. When she opened her eyes again, she felt a sharp pain in her head. Unable to move, she struggled to open her eyes and saw an unfamiliar ceiling. Suddenly, they sprang up and threw their arms tightly around my waist. "Xian, have you forgiven me? I know I was wrong, and I will spend my whole life making it up to you. Zion, trust me, I truly am wrong. I can't live without you." She spoke while crying. Regret surged up in overwhelming waves. It filled her heart with bitterness. Holding the person in front tightly, unwilling to let go, Su Yutang stopped me, all for the sake of Xing. If you died at my doorstep, Xing would be heartbroken. Frowning, I struggled free from that embrace. At that moment, Su Yutang finally had the chance to take a careful look at my face. There is not a hint of emotion in my eyes, only disgust. Such an expression pierced her heart. Her face was pale, her hands still suspended in midair. "Jiyan?" I didn't respond, my gaze icy cold. "I have already called Xing. He will come to pick you up, Su Yutang. Don't come looking for me. Without you, I am doing just fine here. Let bygones be bygones. From the moment you chose Ji Mingchuan, it was over between us." The woman's voice grew increasingly anguished with each word. "Jiyan?" She gazed deeply at the person before her. So close, yet feeling so far away from him. Far beyond his reach. She looked over with the last flicker of hope. Is there really no chance for us anymore? I finally looked him straight in the eye and responded word by word. Yes, we have no chance anymore. It feels as if my heart is pierced by 1,000 arrows. Su Yutang's heart ached so much it felt like dying. She wanted to reach out and touch my face again. Yet even this simple wish, I mercilessly dodged it as well. Su Yutang's eyes were rimmed with red as tears began to fall. She spoke, her heart aching beyond her own control. Before long, Su Xing arrived. He answered my phone call as soon as it rang. I came over right away. He anxiously called out, "Zion." My expression softened. "Starry River, you're here." We sat together and exchanged a few words. It's time to say goodbye. Su Xing couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt. "I'm sorry, Zion. I shouldn't have been soft-hearted and let my sister come to find you. I've caused you so much trouble." I patted her on the shoulder and said it's okay. Even if you don't say it. Su Yutang would also find her own way. Better a bitter ending than endless bitterness. It's good to get everything out in the open this time. Nevertheless, Su Xing still felt quite apologetic. He himself didn't expect it. Her sister could go that crazy. Drenched in the rain all night, as if life meant nothing. He couldn't help but ask. The answer she really wanted to know. "Jiyan, I mean if Ji Mingchuan hadn't appeared, will you be with my sister?" Su Yutang is also very eager to know this answer. If it weren't for Ji Mingchuan, will I be with her? I give a slight smile. I've thought about this question before, but after going through that month, I understand now. Even without Ji Mingchuan, there will be others. Su Yutang's love for me. It is merely the product of regret that comes only after something is lost. I smiled and said with relief, "No, I won't." No one asked me why. It might be that the answers have already been found. Su Xing brought the devastated Su Yutang back to the country. The Su family's business has been suffering significant losses recently. Su Yutang had no mind left to manage anything. I had no choice but to temporarily hand it over to Su Xing. Pity that he just returned to the country. He would have to shoulder the burden of his sister's mess. But just as he was planning to take over the company, Su Xing was still kind-hearted. Gave her sister some photos. When you were abroad, I also found something. Take a look. Su Yutang opened it and discovered inside. It's about Ji Mingchuan. Su Xing investigated Ji Mingchuan. In those years abroad, he didn't study seriously at all, but instead fooled around. Have relationships with several wealthy foreign women. There were even several women who had abortions for him. It no longer resembled the image Su Yutang held in her memory. Come to think of it, what was he like back then? Su Yutang was slightly stunned, realizing that the memories had long since faded from her mind. The way he was back then, reunited after 10 years apart. That naive feeling from first love has long since been worn away. Now, whenever she closes her eyes, she sees only my face. In his mind, they appeared, sometimes laughing and sometimes sorrowful. It tugged at his heart. Yet after another 10 years had passed, can he really forget me as he forgot Ji Mingchuan? A wave of hesitation and sorrow welled up in her heart. But the one who is responsible for the current situation is none other than herself. She clearly knew what Ji Mingchuan had done all along. Because of that vague emotion, they kept professing love. For such a person, he actually pushed me away from his side. Looking at those photos again, he felt no emotional stir within him. It feels as though my heart has already followed them into death. Thank you, Galaxy. I won't keep you worried for too long. Something just came to mind. Smiling at my younger brother, I almost forgot that I still owe you something. As he spoke, he raised his hand and slapped himself hard across the face. That delicate face immediately swelled up, startling Su Xing. Sis, what are you doing? Su Yutang whispered softly. I hit you before. I'm sorry, this is payback. Su Xing's brow furrowed again, unsure of what to say. The hand that longed to reach out was raised and lowered time and again. Finally, he let out a sigh of frustration and thought, forget it. As long as you don't do anything foolish again in the future, it's fine. Perhaps there will be another Zion in the future. You mustn't miss me when the time comes. Su Xing waved his hand with a smile, while Su Yutang remained silent. Watching his younger brother leave, he didn't want to dampen his spirits. Because everyone knows, there will never be another me. Her bitter feelings welled up inside her. Swallowed down silently again, Su Yutang picked up the photo in her hand and walked toward the basement. Ji Mingchuan had been going through a really tough time during this period. Can't eat enough, can't sleep well. What he once did to me, it was repaid unto him 1,000-fold. He was trembling in the basement. When I saw the door open and there was light, haven't yet realized what happened. He only snapped out of it when Su Yutang walked in. He scrambled towards it as if it were a lifeline. Hugging Yutang, I was wrong, please forgive me. I will never disturb you and Shinzian again. I'll go far away in the future. I'll never be a nuisance in your sight again. Please let me go. I really know I was wrong. The man pleaded for mercy while crying. It looked utterly miserable. Su Yutang didn't speak, carefully examining that face. Only endless desire and greed. Why on earth would he be angry because of him? And lost the most important person. The thought alone stirred up Su Yutang's anger. I wish I could tear Ji Mingchuan into 1,000 pieces. But Xing and Zion weren't wrong. Ultimately, it was my own momentary blindness. What Ji Mingchuan did was merely to leverage his own affair. He calmed down for a moment. Throw those photos down. Ji Mingchuan saw what was inside. The pupils of surprise abruptly contracted. Those things are the past he wants most to bury. He just can't make it abroad. Just return to the country. But unexpectedly, it was still uncovered. He was flustered and his face was filled with helplessness. No, this is not me, Yutang. You have to believe me. This isn't mine. It must all be photoshopped. Someone is trying to frame me. It was Shinzian, wasn't it? He doesn't want you to let me off. That's why I ended up creating these things that made you angry. These are all fake. As he spoke, he burst into tears. At first, she really lived a carefree and happy life abroad. Because of her handsome appearance, she has several ambiguous relationships. Everyone is willing to spend money on her. Even if he does something wrong, there is always someone to smooth things over for him. But over time, I don't know when it started. One by one, the people around him began to leave him. He failed to obtain his diploma. I had to spend money to buy a certificate from a third-rate school. Job hunting has been full of setbacks at every turn. Can't even support myself at all. She had no choice but to resort to using her looks. But soon her fame spread abroad. He lost his foothold and had to return home. At first, he felt relieved that there was still Su Yutang back home in the country, foolishly waiting for oneself. But only now does she realize that her life hasn't changed. Everything comes at a price. She knelt down, apologizing profusely and kowtowing. Su Yutang showed almost no expression throughout, just looking at him. It wasn't until Ji Mingchuan could no longer muster any strength that he finally spoke. "You can go." The unexpected answer made the man's eyes widen in surprise. "What did you say, Yutang?" Su Yutang followed her lead and repeated it once again. "You go, Ji Mingchuan. From now on, we have no relationship whatsoever. I did love you once, but it's been too long, and now there's someone else in my heart." She didn't know whether to laugh or cry at those words. Or perhaps she didn't even know where she could go. Su Yutang walked away, no longer paying any attention to Ji Mingchuan. That door was left wide open like that. There were no more bodyguards to force and torment her. But suddenly, she felt a sense of dread toward that unknown future. Even more terrifying than now. After a long while, Ji Mingchuan slowly stood up, stumbling out. He left the Su family. No one knows where he has gone. No one cared about his choice either. Su Yutang, after resting well. "We just took the company back over." Su Xing breathed a sigh of relief. His childhood aspiration was never to manage the family business. He has his own dreams and plans. A year later, Su Xing received my text message. His close friend is getting married, and even invited him to be the best man. Su Xing was beside himself with joy, putting down everything at hand. "I'll buy a ticket and fly over right away." Su Yutang naturally learned the news from her younger brother. He pretended not to care as he asked, "Are you getting married so soon?" Over the past year, he has often been able to learn about my recent situation from his younger brother. "I also know that I have a girlfriend who loves me very much. But I am actually about to get married. I can't quite put my finger on what I'm feeling." Su Yutang felt her vision growing blurry, unable to make out the words being written. He heard Su Xian and the voice coming from the phone on speaker. A gentle voice came in response. "Yes, it's about time to get married. Finally met the right person. I don't want to wait any longer." My voice was soft, yet tinged with a hint of laughter. "You can tell just by listening that I'm living a very happy life." Su Xing was on the phone with me. "While packing up, indeed, but are you planning to settle abroad permanently and not come back?" "While packing up, indeed, but are you planning to settle abroad permanently and not come back?" "I have to go back and forth." "You heartless thing, you never even come to find me." He scolded with a laugh and quickly packed the suitcase. I turned my head and waved to Su Yutang. "I'm leaving, sis." Su Yutang didn't speak. Only after Su Xing had walked far away. The figure in the distance vanishes from sight. Can't hear the sound from the phone either. He slowly lowered his hand that had been reviewing the documents. The palm pressed against the forehead. Tears fall down. Her heart ached so much it felt like she was suffocating. Watching the man I deeply loved. Marrying someone else feels like this. He really lost me. She trembled, unable to hold back her painful tears. Burst into uncontrollable sobs. Another year passed, and Su Xing also got married. I returned to China and, as agreed, served as his groomsman. Su Yutang hasn't seen me for a long time. He kept his emotions in check. Their gaze inevitably lingers on me, afraid to disturb this dream. After the wedding, Su Yutang accompanied her brother to propose a toast. "At my table," Su Xing said with a smile. "Wu Xian, it's been a long time." Su Yutang nodded calmly. "Long time no see, Wu Xian." He reached out and gently clinked his glass with mine. The crisp sound echoed in his excited heart. He wants to say a lot. "It seems like you've changed a lot. How have you been? Are you happy?" So many impulses came to a halt. The moment a woman came up. "That's my wife." The woman took my arm and handed me a glass of wine. "Sorry, I can't drink because I'm pregnant. Zion took care of it on her behalf." I couldn't help but smile. Su Xing was truly astonished. "You already have a baby. Jian, why didn't you tell me? Don't you take me as a brother?" I quickly explained, feeling a bit embarrassed. "It's only been a month. I want to wait until things are more stable before telling you. It's still too early." Su Xing would not agree with such words. He immediately claimed the godfather spot. My wife's eyes are filled with tenderness. I also carry a happiness tinged with helplessness. The four of us gathered in a circle. Only Su Yutang seemed like an outsider. The best ending turns out to be becoming strangers. He stared blankly at my happy face, seeing my wife and me leaning closely together. Her heart ached sharply. She raised her glass and murmured, "Congratulations on finally finding your own happiness." After saying that, he drank it all in one gulp. For the first time, I realized how spicy this wine really is. He quietly left without bothering us anymore. A gust of wind blew past, and I looked up only to realize there's no one at that spot now. I dazed for a moment and then shook my head. Now, the most important people are all by my side.